Bhutale Bhaktivedanta Swami Nitinamani Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pascharta Deshatarane Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratvashi He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Bhakta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripi Pancha Kalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhu Vevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangam langayate giram metrupam tamaham vande Shri Gurum Deenatarinam.
Provision short intros.
Okay.
So this chapter of Bhagavad Gita will be taken by Shuddha Prabhuji, and Prabhuji is disciple of His Holiness Krishna Swami Maharaj. Prabhuji joined the temple in the year 2011, and currently Prabhuji is preaching at Vagoli in youth center. Prabhuji is also handling a youth center in Sambalpur, Orissa, which is Burla Voice. And we are very grateful for Prabhuji that he is teaching at this chapter. So we welcome Prabhuji by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Thank you,
Bol.
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So, thank you all of you for giving me the opportunity to share knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So, yesterday, Prabhuji was telling to take our 14.26 and 27. Sakshi Achyut Prabhu, he was continuing. No? So, how he was taking per day, how many shlokas?
Prabhuji, random means if devotees have question, then that.
Okay. So, in 14.21, Arjuna asks a question. Kairlinges trin gunan etan atito bhavati prabho kim achara katam chaitams trin gunan ativartate. So, here, no, Arjuna is asking, by which symptoms is one known who is transcendental to these 3 modes? We have understood how 3 modes, Lord Krishna said in first verse, this material world is full of 3 modes. Like Ashwatha tree, the spiritual world is the original tree, and this material world is a reflection of that tree. Reflection. It is not this original world. Original world is spiritual world. So here, everything is temporary. Nothing is permanent. If you see the real mango on the tree and the reflection of the tree, the form is there, color is there, but taste is not there. No? The taste is not there in the reflection. Similarly, if you keep a hand on the light, you can see a shadow. You can see the shape of that hand, but not the color, but not the blood, bones, and everything. So you cannot identify the person by seeing the shadow. So this material world is a reflection of the spiritual world. So then Lord Krishna, acha, it is 15th chapter. Okay. Three modes of material nature. Okay. Three modes of material nature. How these three modes are, very powerful, like it is compared to Durga's Trishul. Three modes are like Durga's Trishul. It acts upon every jiva, conditioned jiva. So these three modes are very powerful. And by these three modes, we can understand what is our destiny also. How we can tell the bhavishya also, what we are going to do. The passionate person is always wanting to do something for his own pleasure. The Tamaguna person is always like to take rest, not do anything. But Satoguna person is always wanting to do some beneficial work, for oneself and also others. So Arjuna is asking here in 14.21. So here, my dear Lord, by what is the symptom one is known to transcend? Who is transcendental to these three modes? Who is what is the symptoms to see how one is transcendental, and what is his behavior? A devotee's behavior should be like what? And how does he transcend these three modes? So these three questions are very important. So what are the symptoms and what is his behavior is answered in the next verse, like 22 to 25. So here Lord has explained very detailedly. You might have heard this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O son of Pandu, he who does not hate illumination, attachment, and delusion when they are present, or long for them when they disappear, who is unwavering and undisturbed through all these reactions of the material qualities, remaining neutral and transcendental, knowing that the modes are alone are active, who is situated in the self and regards alike happiness and distress, who looks upon the lump of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold with an equal eye, who is equal toward desirable and undesirable, who is steady, is situated equally well in praise and blame, honor and dishonor, who treats alike both friends and enemy, and who has renounced all the material activities, such a person is said to have transcended the modes of nature. So, this Bhakti yoga, any yoga, one who is practicing, one should transcend this. What is the symptoms of the transcendental person? First thing is, he is not envious. To read scriptures, to understand scriptures, one should be non-envious to anyone. There is no friend in this world, there is no enemy in this world. Based on karma, we get our reactions, either good or negative. Good is also positive karma, punya karma. Negative, pap karma. So who is a real friend is one who teaches, who in Krishna consciousness, Krishna conscious devotee is the real true friend. Mad-chitta madgata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayanta mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They are always trying to please Krishna. They are always wanting to discuss about Krishna. So these are the outcome of what we have to see. Who is transcendental to the three modes? You know, so you might have discussed last class. Now I don't discuss much about it. Now we'll start with 26th verse. Mm, You all can repeat. Mam chayo avyabhicarena
Mam chayo vichareణ
bhakti yogena sevate
bhakti
योगेन सेवते
yogena sevate
sagunan samati tyaitan
सगुणान् समतीत्येतान्
brahma bhuyaya kalpate.
brahma
ब्रह्मभूयाय
bhuyaya
कल्पते
kalpate.
How do you recite these slokas? Only once or twice, thrice?
Once more.
Once only. Okay. So this verse is the conclusion of the entire 14th chapter. Prabhupada, Lord and the Prabhupada gives very systematically. Lord speaks very systematically. He does not speak here and there. He is speaking about three modes. Now he is concluding about the three modes. You know? So this is the conclusion of the entire chapter. Mam chayo avyabhicharena. Avyabhicharena. Vyabhichari means taking shelter of anyone and everyone. Taking shelter, even after becoming ISKCON devotee, if he initiated also, and if he take shelter of demigods, and if he still worship some demigods, Sai Baba, something, then what is the use? So he didn't transcend the modes. He is not willing to transcend the modes. So what is dharma, adharma? We should understand. So here is telling, Krishna is demanding, Mam chayo avyavicharena, without fail. Bhakti yogena sevate. Bhakti yoga. There are two different paths. Jnana yoga and bhakti yoga. All yogas are mixed in Jnana yoga. Jnana yoga means no karma yoga, Jnana yoga, dhyana yoga. These are not devotees. They are devotees, but not pure devotees. Karma mishrita bhakta, Jnana mishrita bhakta, and dhyana mishrita bhakta. But they are not pure devotees. Jnana yogis, those who don't have, their main focus is not bhakti, but focus is to transcend modes. Jnana yogis, they focus more on transcending the modes, not on bhakti. Bhakti yogi, how he transcends the modes? By meditating on Krishna, by serving Krishna. And there is no other process, only bhakti. Maham chaya avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Bhakti yogena. Only bhakti can allow you to transcend the modes. Jnana yoga, he also can transcend the modes, but he cannot attain Krishna. He attains Brahman. So it is very difficult to categorize what Krishna is speaking about, Jnana yogi or Bhakti yogi. For Bhakti yogi is speaking, Mam chayo avyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Sagunan samatityatam brahma bhuyaya kalpate. For jnanis, the brahma bhuyaya kalpate. For bhakti, no, bhakti yogis, they attain more than Brahma Jyoti. No. Vaikuntha, Golok Vrindavan. So here he's telling Brahma Jyoti. For Bhakti Yogi also, he goes to Brahma Jyoti, but he crosses, go beyond. One who engages in full devotional service. Full means 24/7. Not, but if somebody is working in the company, how he does? by remembering Krishna. So, Mam Anusmara Yudhyacha. Arjuna is also fighting, but it is not Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. It is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yogi may do any activities, but his heart is with Krishna. He may be doing, Arjuna is not chanting while fighting, but he is doing Bhakti Yoga. So one who engages in full devotional service, unfailing in all circumstances, but at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. This is Lord Krishna is speaking. The answer. How he transcends the modes by bhakti, full devotional service, 24/7. इंग्लिश ठीक है कि हिंदी में बोलना
English.
इंग्लिश ना oh. So one who transcends one who is fully engaged in bhakti yoga, unfailing in all circumstances, this is a condition. So ahituki apratiyata yatma suprasidati. ahituki कुछ भी एक्सपेक्टेशन आशा नहीं करना है मेरा क्या होगा मेरा अपने बारे में for about oneself one should not think much. So this verse is a reply to Arjuna's third question. What is the means of attaining to the transcendental position? As explained before, the material world is acting under the spell of modes of material nature. One should not be disturbed by the activities of modes. Instead of putting his consciousness into such activities, he may transfer his consciousness to Krishna activities. So one should not be disturbed by the activities of modes of material nature. Instead, one should be putting his consciousness into Krishna. We should always inquire about Krishna. Don't inquire about, अरे उधर क्या चल रहा है, वो मंदिर में क्या चल रहा है. No, what about that devotee? What about that temple? What about this department? Okay. If it is positive, okay, but not on negativity. If it is positive, it is well, good. No, but not on negativity. So, Krishna activities are known as Bhakti Yoga. Always acting for Krishna. This is Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga means Tesham Satata Yuktana. Satatam. Tesham Satata Yuktana. Bhajatam Priti Purvakam. Dadami Buddhiyotam Yadamamapyantite. So here a very important thing to remember, Bhakti Yoga means one who is loving Krishna and serving Krishna wholeheartedly. Always acting for Krishna. This includes not only Krishna, but his different plenary expansions such as Rama and Narayana. He has innumerable expansions. One who is engaged in the service of any of the forms of Krishna or of his plenary expansions is considered to be transcendentally situated. So one who is engaged in service of Krishna is transcendentally situated. Krishna means Vishnu, Lakshmi, Narayana, anything. Any forms of Krishna is considered is very good. One should also note that all forms of Krishna are fully transcendental, blissful, and full of knowledge and eternal. We should not compare the different forms of Lord. So it is like compared to a candle, fire. One candle is burning another candle, but the fire intensity is same. Who is most powerful, Krishna or Rama?
Guruji, they're equally powerful.
That is the answer. So here, that all forms of Krishna are fully transcendental, blissful, and full of knowledge and eternal. It is not like this form of the Lord is less. That form of the Lord has more knowledge. No. All the about rasas, all rasas, all avatars have, but they reveal only one rasa. Rama is famous for Maryada Purushottam. It doesn't mean that he doesn't enjoy other rasas. He can enjoy, but he is following only a particular thing. So we should not compare the different Vishnu Tattvas. It is aparad. No? Such personalities of Godhead are omnipotent and omniscient, and they possess all transcendental qualities. They are not, Jiva Tattva, or Shambhu Tattva, or Shakti Tattva. They are Vishnu Tattva. So if one engages himself in service of Krishna or his planetary expansions, unfailing determination. Determination is very important. If he is failing, that means he is neophyte. He is not a Pakka devotee. He should be determined in Bhakti Yoga. Although these modes of material nature are very difficult to overcome, one can overcome them easily. For us, it may be difficult, but for Krishna, it is not difficult. By Krishna's mercy, Guru's mercy, we can transcend these modes. Not by our own power. So here, this has already been explained in 7th chapter. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistraigunno Bhavarjuna Nirdvando Nitya Sattvasto Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. And many other places it is told. One who surrenders unto the Krishna at once surmounts the influence of the modes of material nature. So one who surrenders to Krishna, immediately all gunas he can transcend all gunas. So to be in Krishna consciousness or in devotional service means to acquire equality with Krishna. The Lord says that his nature is eternal, blissful, and full of knowledge. Sat, Chit, Ananda. And the living entities are part and parcel of the Supreme, as gold particles are part of gold mines. Thus, the living entity in his spiritual position is as good as gold and as good as Krishna in quality. The difference of individuality continues, otherwise, there would be no question of Bhakti Yoga. No. Equality means what? Fire has the fiery quality, but big fire, small fire matters a lot. Matchbox is also fire, but it is just the starting fire. But Krishna is compared to like a huge fire. So both are fire. It is similarly Sat Chit Ananda Vigraha. All are Sat Chit Ananda, but quantity matters a lot. Quality wise, same. Bhakti Yoga means that Lord is there, the Lord is there, the devotee is there, and the activity of exchange of love between Lord and the devotee is there. Therefore, individuality of two persons is present in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the individual person. Otherwise, there would be no meaning to Bhakti Yoga. If one is not situated in same transcendental position with the Lord, one cannot serve the Supreme Lord. For example, if fire is there, if you keep some wood, that wood cannot stay in the fire, and the fire will burn the wood and make it into fire. Similarly, somebody who is Bhakti Yogi Means the Supreme Lord is Satchidananda Vigraha, and this conditioned soul, when he is associating with Krishna, he also becomes Satchidananda Vigraha. He is already Satchidananda Vigraha, but the impurity will be removed. If you keep iron in the fire, the iron will act like a fire. Prabhupada always gives this example. If one is not situated in a same transcendental position with the Lord, one cannot serve the Supreme Lord. Who is not serving? Who is not matching with Krishna consciousness? No? If somebody is matching with Krishna, then he will serve. No? Very important point. To be a personal assistant to a king, one must acquire the qualifications. Thus, the qualification is to become a Brahman or freed from all material contamination. It is said in the Vedic literature, Brahmaiva san Brahma piyeti. One can attain the supreme Brahman by becoming Brahman. Brihat Aranyaka Upanishad. This means that one must qualitatively become one with Brahman by attainment of Brahman. One does not lose his eternal Brahman identity as an individual soul. So, those who have passed 10th, they have all passed from first standard to 9th. You don't need to ask, Prabhu, you have passed 10th, but did you pass 8th standard? Yeah? So, would you like, somebody will ask, somebody who is Krishna consciousness, he has already default, he has reached the Brahman level. But not Brahma, all Brahman level people are qualified to go to transcendental spiritual world. You know? So spiritual world, not all Brahmanvadis can go. No. But all the devotee, he has already crossed the Brahman stage and went to the spiritual world. So here, one who is not situated in same transcendental position with the Lord, one cannot serve the Supreme Lord. That is called oneness. Not oneness means even he becomes Krishna. You know? So it's not like becoming Krishna externally. Like entire family is one. One means not like father merges into mother or mother merges into father. All children will merge in becoming one person. One means one purpose. They all, family has one purpose. They all follow united. Similarly, Krishna and his devotees are not individual in the sense of oneness. You know? But individual Atma is individual. But their purpose is one. The soul wants to always serve Krishna. You know? Because Krishna is the master. That is oneness. And Brahma, for Jnanis, they also transcend these three modes and come to the level of Brahman. And like we discussed last verse 22 to 25, they also attain all these qualities and go to Brahman. But they cannot stay for a long time there. They fall down. But devotee, whatever level he reaches, he will never fall from that. Api chet su duracharo bhajati maam ananyavak sadhureva samantavya sambhigya. Api chet su duracharo. If my devotee does even su durachar. Lekin bhajate maam ananyavak. If one is rendering service Krishna with ananya bhav, with a determined no result, wanting no result for oneself. So that is Bhakti Yoga. No? So, Jnani may attain these qualities 22 to 25. Bhakti Yogi also attains these qualities. Difference is, Jnani Yogi don't have service attitude to serve Krishna. But Jnani Yogis, they may transcend 3 modes, but they are reaching to the level of Brahman. But they cannot go ahead. Anybody has questions in this regard? Otherwise, we'll go.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
In the purpose, it is mentioned that only on the transcendental level, a devotee on the transcendental level or jiva on the transcendental level can only serve the Supreme Lord.
Yes.
But we see that even if jiva is on the lower modes, he can try serving the Lord. It is possible, but that will be a troublesome.
But in Bhakti Yoga, okay. Bhakti Yoga, he may be, but inside he is fully connected to Krishna. Yoginam api sarvesham madgyaten antaratmana. Shraddhavan bhajate yomam samayukta tamumata. If he is not connected internally, then it is not pure bhakti. There is some mishrit bhakti is there. Karma mishrita bhakti, jnana mishrita bhakti. It takes time. That is not determined bhakti. Lord is speaking about here determined, fully determined. One who engages in full devotional service, they only can transcend the modes. If he is not transcended, means he is under 3 modes. Of course, for devotee, slowly on the mercy of Guru and Krishna, Guru will train him how to transcend the modes. That's why a Vaidhi Bhakta will always be under guidance of a spiritual master who is a pure devotee of the Lord, and he can transcend the modes very easily. Okay? Under the guidance of a expert guidance of a spiritual master. But he didn't. If he is not a transcendented, means he is not transcendented. Okay? Okay. But for jnanis, this is compulsory. They have to attain these qualities, 22 to 25. But bhakti may be there very less for jnanis. Okay. No other question? Brahmano hi pratishthaham. You all can repeat also. Some devotees at least. Brahmano hi pratishthaham.
Brahmano hi
Brahmano hi
pratishtaham
pratishtham
Amrutasya vyavasya cha.
Amrit
amritasya vivasya cha
Shashvatasya cha dharmasya.
Shashvatasya cha
shashvatasya
dharmasya
cha dharmasya
Suke kantikasya cha.
sukha
Sukhe
ekantikasya cha.
So here, Brahmana of the impersonal Brahma Jyoti, he certainly Pratishtha, the rest, Aham, I am Amritasya of the immortal, Avyavas, Avyay, Avyayasya cha, of the imperishable, cha, also Shashvatasya of the eternal, cha, and Dharmasya of the constitutional position, Sukasya of happiness, Aikantikasya, ultimate cha also. Can somebody read translation and purport? Slowly, first translation, then purport.
Translation. And I am the basis of impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, imperishable, and eternal, and is the constitutional position of ultimate happiness.
So that is the first level of first level of transcending modes. That is the first gate where Jiva has to go. But that is not the ultimate stage. Krishna is telling, I am the basis of this impersonal Brahman. Spiritual world का जो effulgence है, that is called ब्रह्म ज्योति. अगर स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड ही नहीं है, गाड़ी ही नहीं है, तो लाइट कहाँ से आएगी? If sun is not there, sunlight will come from where? So here the Lord is telling this is Brahma Jyoti. This Brahma Jyoti is basis is myself. I am the basis of impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Impersonal Brahma Jyoti is consisting of Sat part, not Chit Ananda. These two are not complete. But Sat, eternal, without Chit and Ananda. That's why to attain Brahma Jyoti is most unfortunate people. Jnanis. They don't get Krishna. That is more worse than going to hell. हेल में क्या है? थोड़ा सा जाता है और पिटाई खा के वापस आ जाता है धरती पर ब्रह्म ज्योति में जो जाता है वो वापस आने के लिए बहुत बहुत समझ में लगता है. स्वर्ग में क्या है? थोड़ा साल एंजॉय करता है, पिटाई खाता है, फिर वापस आता है धरती पर. बट ये ब्रह्म ज्योति वाले बहुत लंबा समय तक उधर ही रहता है, बिना भक्ति, बिना सेवा. So I am the basis of impersonal Brahman. So Krishna is telling, I am. You will get easily Brahman. By who is worshipping Krishna, they can come to the Brahman and then transcend the Brahman also. So I am the basis of impersonal Brahman, which is immortal, which will never be destroyed, imperishable, and eternal, and is a constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So from there it starts with Shantaras. Brahma Jyoti is Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti. No Krishna. But there are Shantaras, Dasiras. From Dasiras, service starts. Shantaras, no service. So one should not aspire for Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti. You cannot find Shanti in any devotee. They are always anxious to find service to Krishna. So in Brahma Jyoti, no anxiousness, no distress. All these Brahma Jyoti qualities, 22 to 25. But for Bhakti Yogi, service to Krishna. Okay, Karun Dwarkadish Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhuji, as you said that in Brahmajyoti, only eternality aspect is there. There is no knowledge and happiness. But Krishna here is writing in the translation that it is constitutional position of ultimate happiness. So how to understand this, Prabhuji?
This is a starting point. When you go to Pune city, when you enter to the border, that means you have come to Pune, but not inside the city. That is a starting point. That's why only by devotee, by mercy of Guru and Krishna only, by serving Guru, Krishna, then only we can understand knowledge. It is very difficult to understand Bhagavad Gita without service to Krishna and Guru. Those who serve, they only can get revelation rightly. Without service, one cannot understand Bhagavad Gita. So, tadvidhi pranipatena, pariprashnena sevaya, upadekshanti te jnanam, jnanena tattvadarshana. This is compulsory. So, Brahma Jyoti is a starting point, Shanta. That is also moksha, but this is Kaivalya moksha. This is not desired by devotees. These are desired by jnanis. But this is not good. Kaivalyam narakayate. Okay. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Also, here Krishna is using 3 words in the translation: immortal, imperishable, eternal. Though the meaning of all the words are same, still Krishna is stressing the same point. Why is it so, Prabhuji?
So this Brahma Jyoti does not fall. But Jiva, it is compared to like a immortal only, they are eternal only, but not eternal. He will fall from that position because he doesn't have complete knowledge of the spiritual world. Chit potency is not pure, complete. Ananda is not fulfilled. His desires are not yet fulfilled. Unfulfilled desires are there. You don't have complete knowledge. You don't have Ananda. But Brahmajyoti is always there. But we may be there or not there, sun will rise, sun will set. Even if we go also. This is going on. Brahmajyoti will be there, but people will be coming and going. But after a long time, fall down will happen. Because there is no service attitude. Those who want Shanti, it's very dangerous. It is immortal, imperishable, eternal. But it is not in material world. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Somebody can read purport. Shall I increase the font or this one is okay? Can somebody read purport? Paragraph 1. When I tell pause, you can pause. Huh?
The constitution of Brahman is immortality, imperishability, eternity, and happiness. Brahman is the beginning of transcendental realization.
It's a
Paramatma,
beginning. Brahman is a beginning of transcendental realization, not ultimate. It's a beginning. If I go to school, nursery is the basic. Somebody is in nursery means he is in school, but not ultimate. Right? He is in nursery yet, but he is in school. Transcendental means Brahmajyoti is the starting point, not the end. That is the beginning of transcendental realization. Okay.
Paramatma, the super soul, is the middle, the second stage in transcendental realization.
Okay. So second is the Paramatma, Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan.
And the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate realization of the absolute truth.
Read.
Therefore, both Paramatma and the impersonal Brahman are within the Supreme Person. It is explained in the 7th chapter that material nature is the manifestation of the inferior energy of the Supreme Lord. The Lord impregnate the inferior material nature with fragments of the superior nature, and that is the spiritual touch in the material nature. When a living entity conditioned by this material nature begins the cultivation of spiritual knowledge, he elevates himself from the position of material existence and gradually rise up to the Brahman conception of the Supreme.
Wait, here Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. These are the three levels. So, the Brahman realization is the basic realization. Paramatma realization is the middle, and Bhagavan realization is the ultimate. Paramatma realization also no service yet, but they accept Vishnu. They accept the form of Vishnu, but no service. Service, somebody is doing service means he is not ordinary person. Who is having service attitude is more advanced with Vaishnava qualities. Seva bhav is very, very important. So that service comes to the when one reaches to the Bhagavan stage. Paramatma and Bhagavan. Paramatma stage, people accept the form. 13th chapter we discussed. Upadrishta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, like that he behaves, but not, he cannot order that person to do some service because he's not on that level. He's a neutral stage, like DT. DT is in neutral stage. He just accepts service. But if pure devotee comes, he reciprocates. Paramatma is also neutral. He doesn't ask anything. He doesn't tell anything. He just witness. But they accept also. Vishnu form. Okay. So here Lord impregnates the inferior material nature with the fragments of the superior nature. Inferior, there are two Prakriti. Jiva Prakriti and Bhautik Prakriti. Jiva Prakriti is superior. And no, when Jivas enter, then they manipulate this, material nature, which is lower material. Bhumi, Rapo, Nala, Vayu, Kam, Mana, Buddhi. These 8 things will be agitated by the Jivas, manipulated by Jivas. So, and with fragments of superior nature, and that is the spiritual touch in material nature. When living entity is conditioned by material nature, begins the cultivation of spiritual knowledge. So he elevates himself to the position of material existence and gradually rises up to the Brahman conception of the Supreme. So, Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya. So, Atato Brahma Jigyasa. Don't inquire about the material world qualities. Who is the richest person? Who is the most beautiful girl? No? Miss World. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? Miss World, Miss Universe, Miss India. People are wanting to give reward. But this Miss India, Miss World, Miss Universe, after a few years, we can show their photos, how they will become. They are not going to be eternal. And we should not be carried away by such beauty. This is not permanent beauty. This is, bewildering beauty of Maya to attract the conditioned soul to work very hard day and night. Otherwise, the person will not work. If wife is not beautiful, who will work? They give up. So, this Lord impregnates this inferior material nature with the fragments of superior nature. That is a spiritual touch in material nature. Jiva Prakriti. When living entity is conditioned by the material nature, begins the cultivation of spiritual knowledge. He elevates himself to the position of material existence and gradually rises up to the Brahman conception of the Supreme. This attainment of Brahman conception of life is the first stage in self-realization. It is a nursery stage in a school. At least nursery में तो आया. But not satisfied with nursery. Yeah. Okay, can you read from here at this stage?
At this stage,
Okay.
at this stage, the Brahman realized person is transcendental to the material position, but he is not actually perfect in Brahman realization.
Prabhupada is revealing his here. He is not actually perfect in Brahman realization.
If he wants, he can continue to stay in the Brahman position and then gradually rise up to Paramatma realization and then to the realization of the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
So his journey is not complete yet, Brahman realization. He has to go ahead with Paramatma realization. And then Bhagavan realization. That is ultimate.
There are many examples of this in Vedic literature. The four Kumaras were situated first in the impersonal human conception of truth, but then they gradually rose to the platform of devotional service. One who cannot elevate himself beyond the impersonal conception of Brahman runs the risk of falling down. In Srimad Bhagavatam, it is stated that although a person may rise to the stage of impersonal Brahman without going further, with no information of the Supreme Person, his intelligence is not perfectly clear.
So without in Bhagavatam it is said that although a person may rise to the stage of impersonal Brahman without going further, with no information of the Supreme Person, his intelligence is not clear, perfectly clear. That means what? He is not a pakka devotee. Fall down is still there.
Therefore, in spite of being raised to the Brahman platform, there is the chance of falling down if one is not engaged in the devotional service of the Lord.
One who is engaged in the service of the Lord, he is advanced and fixed up in service of the Lord, then pakka devotee. If service, he is not influenced by service attitude, then here there is a chance of falling down. Okay.
In the Vedic language, it is also said, Raso Vaisaha Rasam hi evayam Laptvanandi bhavati. One who understands the personality of Godhead, the reservoir of pleasure, Krishna, he actually becomes transcendently blissful. The Supreme Lord is full in six opulences, and when a devotee approaches him, there is an exchange of these six opulences. The servant of the king enjoys on an almost equal level with the king, and so eternal happiness, imperishable happiness, and eternal life accompany devotional service. Therefore, realization of Brahman or eternity or imperishability is included in devotional service. This is already possessed by a person who is engaged in devotional service.
Somebody who has passed 10th, he has already passed nursery. Don't need to tell. So Bhakti Yoga, who is a pakka devotee means, pure devotee means he has already reached the Brahman and Paramatma level also. He is not like he is bereft of Brahman and Paramatma. He has all these things. But not Brahman relation person is having Paramatma and Bhagavan relation. No. So devotee who is engaged in 24 hours by Krishna consciousness is more advanced than Brahman and Paramatmavadi. So how Prabhupada is telling very nicely, for a devotee, the Supreme Lord is full in all six appearances. When a devotee approaches him, there is an exchange of these six appearances. If you see, the son behaves very nicely with the father will give everything to his son. All keys to him. But he has a tendency of something, cheating tendencies, then father will not give. So Krishna will give all access. He can go to even bedroom of Krishna. He has a servant mode. But if he has enjoying mentality, he cannot approach. The gates will become closed. We cannot approach Krishna. So the Supreme Lord will share all of these six appearances. Even Vaikuntha also. He shares his beauty also. Everything. But devotees, nobody will become lusty to Lakshmi or anyone. They know their constitutional position is servant. This is most important. Servitude, dasyaras, is the root. If that dasyaras is not there, then sahajiya tendency may come. The servant of a king enjoys on almost equal level with the king. जो राजा को मिलता है वही उसका असिस्टेंट को भी मिलता है. So such a level by bhakti. Therefore, realization of Brahman or eternity is included in devotional service. That's why Prabhupada's purport is very beautiful. Okay, read this last thing. Living entity.
The living entity, although Brahman by nature, has the desire to lord it over the material world, and due to this he falls down. In its constitutional position, a living entity is above the three modes of material nature, but association with material nature entangles him in the different modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance. Due to the association of these three modes, his desire to dominate the material world is there. By engagement in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness, he is immediately situated in the transcendental position, and his unlawful desire to control material nature is removed. Therefore, the process of devotional service, beginning with hearing, chanting, remembering, the prescribed 9 methods for realizing a devotional service should be practiced in the association of devotees.
Should be
Gradually,
practiced in association of devotees, not alone. You cannot do bhakti yoga alone, sitting alone. Association is not there means he is not a devotee. He is not a devotee. Somebody who is in association of devotees and practicing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. This ground is bhakti, this association of devotees. If you fight with devotees, aparad will come. You cannot be. You have to learn how to deal with devotees. You have to exchange this 9 process of bhakti with devotees. Shravana, we should hear from devotees. We hear with devotees, and we should remind each other about what we are hearing. We should do kirtanam with devotees, not with non-devotees. With non-devotees, association means gone case. If somebody has a close friend as non-devotee, is gone case. No non-devotee friend. So the 9 process, you cannot exchange. No? You will play lecture or kirtan, he will play Dil To Pagal Hai, non-devotee. Sense gratification he will introduce. So that is like a poison for bhakti. So non-devotee association में bhakti नहीं चलता है भाई. Only in association of devotees one can practice bhakti. It's very, very important. 9 process of devotional service should practice in association of devotees. Okay? Read. Gradually by such association.
Gradually by such association, by the influence of spiritual master, one's material desire to dominate is removed, and one becomes firmly situated in Lord's transcendental loving service.
So
This
here how
method-
he transcends? By association with spiritual master. We should not associate with friends so much. We should associate with spiritual master initially. Then the guru will teach discipline. What is good, what is... We cannot associate with friends more. To reach to that level, transcendental position, then you can have friends. You can exchange and everything. But conditioned stage, we should always associate with spiritual master. He will observe us. He will rectify us. So here, firmly situated in Lord's transcendental loving service. So here, once material desire to dominate is removed. How? By gradual association. This is very, very important. Gradually, by such association, by the influence of spiritual master, one's material desire to dominate is removed, and one becomes firmly situated in Lord's transcendental loving service. Mood swing नहीं होना चाहिए भक्ति का. Bhakti mood should be fixed and should not be wavering up and down. Sometimes very enthusiastic, sometimes very enthusiastic for Maya. No, it should be enthusiastic for only devotional service.
This method is prescribed. This method is prescribed from the 22nd to the last verse of this chapter. Devotional service to the Lord is very simple. One should always engage in the service of the Lord, should eat the remnants of foodstuffs offered to the deities, smell the flowers offered to the lotus feet of the Lord, see the places where the Lord had his transcendental pastimes, read of the different activities of the Lord, his reciprocation of love with devotees, chant always the transcendental vibration, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Hare. Hare
Hare
Ram,
Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And observe the fasting days commemorating the appearances and disappearances of the Lord and his devotees. By following such a process, one becomes completely detached from all the material activities. One who can thus situate himself in the Brahma Jyoti. मुझे कहाँ पे? One who can thus situate himself in the Brahma Jyoti or the different varieties of the Brahman conception is equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in quality.
So this is how one can rise. How Bhakti Yoga helps the person to reach to that level. If somebody loves Krishna, he is most fortunate. Who serves Krishna, who serves in Krishna in association of devotees, by pleasing each other, not fighting with each other. Devotees should not fight with each other. One should always sacrificing nature. Ahituki, apratiyata. So this, one should always engage in service of the Lord, should eat the remnants of the food offered to the deity. Eating prasadam is compulsory. No? Why? Eating remnants means he's accepting I am a servant. But jnanis may eat only carrot or anything. That is not going to be protected. But by honoring prasadam, our consciousness becomes pure. Should always, every morsel we should always eating, we should feel this is Krishna's prasadam. And chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, observing fasting days. This is Bhakti Yoga compulsory. Observing fasting days, it's not optional. Fasting days commemorating the appearance and disappearance of the Lord and his pure devotees. Should observe fasting. By following such a process, one becomes completely detached from all material qualities, activities. Then one can, Brahman conception is equal to the Supreme Personality of Godhead in quality. Okay, Hare Krishna. Anybody has doubts? Okay, tomorrow we have same 7 to. I was being told 8 to 7 to 8:05 class, 8:05 to 8:10 question and answer.
Yes, Guruji. We can go till 8:15.
8:15, huh?
Yes,
Achha.
Guruji.
Okay. Yesterday he told me till 8:10. Tomorrow we'll take till 8:15 because one more shloka it requires time. Anybody has questions? We can continue.
Roji,
Okay.
there is one question which
Ah,
came in the chat by one devotee. He is
chat.
asking where does the Paramatma realized person goes? What is his destination?
Ah. He goes to Vaikuntha, but not service, no service much. Like to stone, trees, but no service much. Stone, what it can do service? Neutral stage. Meek and humble enter the kingdom of God. Yeah, without meek and humility, even jnanis have this term, meek and humility. Otherwise, he cannot even reach Brahmajyoti. That is a qualification of Brahmajyoti, not a qualification of devotee. Devotee qualification is loving service attitude. No? So that loving is very, very important. Paramatma realized person is because he accepts Vishnu's form, so he goes to Vaikuntha. But Brahmajyoti, no form of Vishnu. But no service yet. Prabhuji living in lower modes also can serve the Lord, although that would be troublesome. So why is it mentioned in the purport? So, wait,
But you answered my question
Ah.
previously.
This is your question, huh? Ravi Giri Pro.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, bro. Ask.
You already answered this in
Okay.
like the class. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other questions? No, no. So we'll end. And tomorrow is there, no?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Tomorrow, 7 to 8, 8:15. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.
Uh,
Jai.